In this episode, I look back at the content of 2024, ask about your favourite combat specials, and explore the possible benefits an order can provide both for the players and the GMs. Welcome to the Mythras Matters podcast, Season 1, Episode 65, Flurries, Protection and Order Benefits. Hello and welcome to Mythras Matters, a podcast dedicated to the Mythras rule set and all its supplements. As always, I'm your host Inwils, and welcome to January. And also welcome to 2025, a brand new year brimming with new possibilities. I always get caught on the back foot in December. The main preparations are all about Christmas and the day after, a day that we call in the UK Boxing Day. Then there is a bit of a gap and it's New Year's Eve. And before you know it, we are starting a new month. And a new episode of Mythras Matters needs to be scripted, recorded, edited and published. Although you are listening to this in January, I'm writing this episode on the 27th of December. Still full of overeating and enjoying a break. Tomorrow I will be 1 year older. Yes, you heard that correctly. I will be, or I am now when you hear this, 58. My birthday was on the 28th of December. My memory's going already. I had to pause and think then. I always start December thinking I will write January's episode early, but I never do. Sometimes I get more motivated to do it at the last minute, or rather than motivation, sheer panic has set in. As we look forward to 2025, I would like to take a brief moment to look back. The Mythras community is constantly growing, so I just wanted to make you all aware of some of the episodes you might have missed during 2024. Dan True joined us in February to talk about creating murder mystery adventures, and I talked about all things magical from theist to mysticism. Kat joined us in July and we talked about the newsletter and a dream of mine, writing fiction. Loz teased us about forthcoming publications in September. Those are always my favourite episodes. I make frantic notes throughout. And finally, I started the series about orders, and Mark's joined us in December to talk about starting to play and GM Mythras from scratch. 2024 was a packed year, and just to keep you updated, the first ever episode of Mythras Matters, which aired in April 2019, has just passed 1,500 listens. As for the new year, I want to have more roundtable discussions, so you don't just have to listen to my voice all the time, and possibly a series about combat, since I know there are experts out there. I look forward to hearing from you about what you would like to hear on the episodes as well. So if you would like to contribute to the podcast, why not just email or message me and let me know what you would like to chat about. I'm always looking for reviews or interviews or chats with people. So if you are interested, you can email me at inwils@gmail.com or send me a message on the various forums I frequent or on Discord. Now, before I continue to talk about orders, I want to ask you all a question about combat. Although I haven't played or GM'd them yet, I have enjoyed reading the combat modules. I think the first one is called Brace for Impact and the second one, Take Cover. Reading them has given me an insight about the combat specials that exist in Mythras and how these can be used in certain situations to provide a desired outcome. As a GM, and this is possibly incorrect, I tend to only let my more adept opponents use specials, leaving the ruffians to concentrate on trying to achieve their low combat skills. However, when I have the opportunity to use a special, I have some that I like and tend to gravitate towards, even if the combat might not actually warrant them. I once set up a whole encounter just to use one specific special. It was an M-space adventure and Minsk, the face of the group, had stayed behind to protect a young female sidekick. Unknown to the rest of the group, the rival team was trying to capture the girl as they were heading back to the town. Despite letting out a psychic scream, the team overcame Minsk and the girl was captured. But not until the rival gang leader decided to use a certain combat special as he stood over the unconscious body of the party's face. You can probably guess which one I used. If you can't, Minsk has now got a scar on his face when the rest of the party returned. You guessed it, Scar-Foe. Although it was not exactly the mark of Zorro, it did suit the situation and was a much better outcome than killing a character. I have some other specials that I really like, not because they are effective, but more because I visualize them as flashy. Flurry is one of them. The special allows the attacker to follow up their first attack with either a punch or a kick, or even a headbutt. It does take an additional action point, but I just think it looks so martial arts-like, or even some sort of Street Fighter approach or barroom brawl. My final special, which I really want to use but have not actually managed to be successful with it, is Take Weapon. This must be absolutely awesome to complete and succeed with. I would love to see the player's face as the opponent snatches their weapon from their hand, especially if we're playing classic fantasy and the weapon is magical. As players or GMs, I bet you have your own favourite specials as well, so please do let me know what you favour in the comments. I think that choose location and max damage are both going to be extremely popular. Oh, and if you fancy having a barroom brawl with your group, you can find a ready-made barroom brawl encounter in my RPG shop as a digital download. It provides tokens, a floor plan, and pre-generated characters that all have their own passions. It should be a fun encounter for all. Thank you for all your positive comments I've received about the series on orders and brotherhoods. I think they are an essential part of any campaign, and I'm enjoying developing my own thinking as I write these segments. We have already discussed about the role of orders and how to join orders, so if you would like to hear both those sections, then check out episodes 62 and 63. In this episode, I want to talk about the advantages or benefits of being part of an order. The most important benefit of being part of an order has to be the possibility of stories and plot lines. I see orders, and remember I'm using the term order to represent brotherhood circles, companies and cults, as an essential part of a campaign that can allow me to use so many different plot lines. When a character joins an order, we are assuming that the ideals and values of the character and the order match on several levels. However, this might not always be the case, or if they did at the start of the partnership, one or both might drift away. The order might start to request the character to complete missions or quests that don't really fit with their ideals or even morals. While the character might start to rebel against the restrictions or requirements of the order. Both of these situations are a GM's heaven. Not only does it show that the campaign world is developing and changing, it also provides a dynamic backdrop for the campaign. The players in our current actual play, Destined, have recently aligned themselves with a company that they hope will be able to support them, mainly in the form of allotment points. They had a completely free choice who to go with, but I have some interesting story arcs in the future for them. I might even be able to lead them away from the positive morals of superheroes and might even encourage them to start to become more super villains, although I do suspect that their natural goodness might win the day. No matter which way they decide to go, I know that me playing the company that is providing them with equipment and fame will allow me to possibly subtly manipulate them or place them into situations that they might feel, well, played. It will give me an opportunity to use the peril system from the Destined rules as well. But players might ask, what is in it for them? Why should they meet the requirements of an order and join and subsequently progress through their ranks? Well, the core rulebook provides some basic benefits, such as reduced training costs, free food and lodgings, and access to magic. But the ones for me that need to be developed by both the players and the GMs are social status and protection. Social status is something that really appeals to me as both a player and a GM. There is something quite special for a character to be instantly recognized as from an order that people should not mess with. The order could have a special dress code like the sorcery orders in my fantasy campaign, or even a recognizable logo or name such as the ones in my M-Space campaign. Not only does this make the members of the order instantly recognizable, they also have the potential to impact on skill rolls. Seeing who the opponents are up against could increase the skill roll's difficulty. I'm sure that many of the rebels miss when they fire at Darth Vader because they recognize him and lack confidence in their own abilities. Imagine trying to negotiate a deal with a famous merchant guild, or even trying to strike a deal with the Masters Thieves Guilds. As a player, I would like to see the reaction of the tavern or town as my character from the Death Knight Order arrives. I imagine windows and doors being quickly closed, and even the odd dog running away with their tail between their legs, letting out soft, low whimpers. However, with every negative there is a positive. The confidence of the soldiers rise when they realize that the knight from the undefeated Holy Order is standing with them on the front line, or the members of the Mystic Order are part of the caravan protection. Situations like this would cause difficulty levels to drop, and even possible additional luck points being available for everyone. Protection initially goes hand in hand with social status. The status that comes with the order can easily be perceived as protection. I mean, who is going to mess with the members of the notorious Assassin Guild or try to infiltrate the main offices of the company that owns the majority of assets in the subsector? But protection goes beyond just knowing which group you are aligned with. Many orders will have safe houses or locations hidden away across the realms or space systems. Members will be aware of these locations or will know someone who is. These will make perfect sanctuaries for the group when they are fleeing or infiltrating. I wish my character had known of such location when we were playing the initial scenario of Dan True's Book of Schemes. As we were fleeing down the dark streets being harassed by opponents, it would have been great to be able to slip into a building, knowing that once we were behind doors, we would be safe. But these locations might not be a place to safely hide in. They might be a location that needs to be infiltrated or even assaulted. An opposing order might need items, relics, resources, or even people located in a safe location and subsequently extracted. The location will not only be guarded by personnel, but also traps and areas that the infiltrating group could be isolated in and subsequently disposed of. This not only gives opportunities for some order-on-order action, but could possibly let those assassins use the kill silently combat special. Before we leave the benefits of being part of an order, we need to mention gifts and divine intervention that are also available as benefits. At the present moment in time in our campaign's orders, I don't think we've developed them enough to have divine intervention and gifts. Or maybe it's because I'm not really prepared to give the players gifts. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh, but I'm not too sure whether they are going to make the already powerful characters even more powerful. My way forward with these is to create some opposing orders first and see which gifts they would be granted. With these in place, the players' orders might be able to research and reveal their own orders' gifts from the past. I know Bartleby is eager to have the abstinence gift, allowing him to give praise to the moon goddess throughout the night when he no longer needs to sleep. And I think the sorcery orders could be persuaded to provide elementals to their mages. So, have you implemented the gift system into your own campaign? I'm interested to know how it has gone and whether you regret it. As always, let me know in the comments, both your successes and negatives. I hope that gives you some ideas for implementing the benefits of orders into all your campaigns. The possible additions to the story arcs, I think, is enormous, therefore making them, in my humble opinion, an essential part of any campaign. And that's it, another episode of Mythras Matters completed. Don't forget you can check out all my content by following my YouTube channel and the campaign areas of World Anvil. We now have Mythras Fantasy, M-Space and Destined up there. So please do go along and press the follow button. Links are in the show notes. Also, don't forget that I have an RPG shop that you can purchase adventures and encounters as digital downloads. I really appreciate your support, and do check out the Discord and the Tapper Talk forums. There are great people sharing their ideas within discussions there. Definitely worth a visit to both of them. So until next time, have a great month of gaming, and I will see you all again in February. Until then, I hope all your opposed roles succeed and provide you with a well-deserved special. Thanks for listening, everyone. See ya. Bye. The content of this podcast is covered by the Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, so please give appropriate credit if you are sharing or copying any part of this podcast. Thank you.